How do you go about learning the motivation of a mystery man, someone you know little about? Well, in my opinion, you start with the things that you do know. In the case of Jiren, although information is few and far between, there are some things that we know to be true, facts about his personality, and that is where we are going to start when trying to figure out what he meant when he said what motivates him lies beyond strength. So let's start with one of the things we know to be fact about Jiren. That thing is, he values justice over everything else. He values justice more than he values his own life. In fact, he values justice more than he values all the lives in Universe 11. I know to people who only watch the Dragon Ball Super anime, this sounds like a bold statement. But to those of you who watch the anime and read the manga, which at times give us a bit more insight into these characters, it isn't anything new to hear me mention just how fanatical Jiren is about justice. I'm going to read you guys a snippet from chapter 30 of the Dragon Ball Super manga. It's a conversation between Jiren, Toppo, and Belmod, the god of destruction from Universe 11. The conversation starts with Jiren saying to Toppo, "I'm sorry, but I'll have to decline." This is in regards to Toppo asking Jiren to fight in the Tournament of Power. Jiren continues, "My first priority is protecting the peace of the universe." Toppo follows up by saying, "How can you say that, Jiren? If we lose this match, there won't be a universe left to defend." Jiren's response, "Then that is the fate of our universe. I'm not about to save our own universe at the cost of having others be erased." Even Toppo is surprised by this. Toppo responds by saying, "Are you really okay with that? You would lose everything you worked so hard to protect. Is that really the kind of justice you believe in?" And obviously here, Toppo is referring to a type of justice that is absolute, that is above everything else. Even the things Jiren works so hard to protect, Toppo wants to know if Jiren is willing to throw that all away in the name of his version of justice. Then Belmod shows up and tells Jiren if they win the tournament, his wish, Jiren's wish, can come true. And only then did Jiren agree to fight in the Tournament of Power. But still, even with the draw of having this extremely important secret wish granted, Jiren's fanatical sense of justice is still showcased. He had one condition, and that was if Universe 11 has any trouble while he's away, he's coming right back. Pretty much saying if anything disrupts the justice while he's gone, anything that requires his presence, he will abandon the tournament, abandon his wish, abandon his own life and the lives of everyone else in Universe 11 for the purpose of putting that injustice to rest. Some have theorized that the wish that Jiren plans to make with the Super Dragon Balls is to bring back his original universe. They theorize that Jiren is not originally from Universe 11 and that he wants to wish his own universe back into existence. But that seems like a pretty selfish wish for such a selfless man, doesn't it? So I don't think that that's the case. What I think this information about Jiren is telling us is that Jiren doesn't care too much about whether or not life exists. What he does care about, however, is that when life is present, it has to be treated fairly. And that's an important distinction. So let me say that again in a slightly different way. Jiren will rather lives be lost. He would rather these lives be erased than to have them live in a world of injustice. Now, I think it's fair to assume that the reason why Jiren developed a stance that radical about justice is because he was once the victim of some grave injustice himself. He experienced what that was like. He experienced what that injustice was like and decided that he will dedicate his life to making sure others do not have to suffer the same fate. This is the reason why Jiren is so strong, because he sees strength as a tool, as a means to an end for him to carry out his mission of erasing injustice. It's the same with the Super Dragon Balls and this wish. Jiren sees this wish as a tool, another thing he can use to expedite erasing injustice, probably across all universes. But what's the purpose of living in a just world? What does justice and fairness create? Well, it creates a lot of things. It creates freedom, it creates growth, it creates prosperity. But above all, I think it creates happiness. And this is what I think Jiren seeks. The man who never smiles seeks happiness, not only for himself, but for all living beings. But that is all I have for you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. I know the answer isn't as fancy or as badass as it could be, but those are just my thoughts. As usual, my name is Dooley. Social media links to follow this channel outside of YouTube are in the description. I'm like Jiren. I wish happiness to all you guys as well, especially the Do Crew. #Do Crew. Thank you for checking out this video, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.